What's up, everybody? Welcome back. How y'all been? Has everybody been fine? Nobody died out there in the coronavirus plague-stricken world. So it looks like we're actually going to be getting back to normal here in a minute, so that's good. So I thought, it's been a minute since I talked last time, so I wanted to come back and, kind of get to talking a little bit more, maybe fill in some blanks of things that I had before. I've had a couple people ask me some questions. I wanted to answer those questions. So the first question is, when did you kind of, when did it start getting real bad? Like, when did you start, like, really having, like, some severe mental shit going on? And the answer is pretty much 8th grade. So in 8th grade, I was, like I told you guys before, in 8th grade, I'm in Little Friend School in Naperville. At that point, man, I was just a piece of shit. I mean, there's no better fucking way to put it than, I was a piece of shit, and that's that. And I went there, and then I went to the other place, to the attic of that place, and that was as a freshman. So as a freshman, I went to as a freshman when they really started pumping me full of fucking drugs, man, like really bad. Like, I mean, I'm telling you, I think a freshman was when I was really like they had to let me go take walks every day during the day to burn off the energy because I had taken so much fucking pills. It was fucking wiring me to the wall and shit. I wasn't eating. One of the big side effects of Ritalin is that it takes away your fucking your appetite. So I was never really able to eat much, and I was just kind of fucked up. I remember I would be up all hours of the night reading. I read a million books. That was always good. So and then so I got mainstreamed to Glenwood East for one class. But I would go there and I would have such bad anxiety attacks that I would just end up in the fucking nurse's office until the short bus came and picked my ass up. So then from there I got sent to Glenwood Academy. Now, to a guy like me growing up, that was like that was it. That was the show. That was the bad school. Like you can't, and nobody gets kicked out of Glenwood Academy. So the difference between Glenwood Academy and other schools is this. In Glenwood Academy, they come to your house and pick you up in this little Suburban every day. And if you don't bring your ass outside, they come in and get your motherfucking ass. And they will come in. They will ham your ass up. They will take your ass out. They will stick you on the motherfucking Suburban and they will take your ass to school. All right? Whether you like it or not, they will come in your fucking house and they will snatch your ass up and take you to fucking school. All right? So that was the first thing that was a little different about the Glenwood Academy. Second thing was they would search me every day. Because I was smoked back then. Damn you, Henry Belitsky got me started smoking. Henry Belitsky and Dean Davis, you fuckers, got me started smoking. I don't smoke no more. But anyway, so they would come and pick you up in a Suburban, and then they would take you to school. So you'd get to school and they'd search me down every day. They'd pat search and shit like that. And the thing about and it was another one of them schools where they could slam your ass, man. So they'd yell, "Staff!" and everybody come running. I remember the fucking gym teacher, bald-headed black dude named Mr. Woody. He would fucking slam your ass, and then there was the fucking, there was another lady, I think her name was Mrs. Ron, she had a really fucking sweet ass and shit, and then there was fat-ass Mr. Knutson, with his, I never liked that motherfucker, no how, and then, and I forget who else was at the school, but I will tell you this, I got there, and that was kind of like, that was my first kind of lesson, I'm like, okay, these are some real degenerate motherfuckers here, but I was able to kind of, still equally degeneratize, if you will, with these guys. So I get there, and it was kind of cool. They had like a little room where you had video games and shit. You could play the video games, which you come to find out you never got to play. And it was basically, it was stuck like in the side of this bigger fucking facility, and it wasn't a big school at all. It was like a hallway and some fucking rooms, and that was it. That was the whole school. But so what they gave you there is every class you'd get like 5 points, and I forget what it was. I remember at the end of every class, you'd have to sit there and they'd say, okay, rate yourself, and you can grade yourself on this, and then you'd be like 5 points. And they're like, oh, okay, great, you got 5 points, fantastic. And then if you didn't do it right, then or people didn't agree, they're like, nah, you fucked up, you don't get those points and shit. There's a lot of accountability based stuff. Where I spent most of my time was in the timeout room. So the timeout room was, I want you to imagine a fucking closet. A fucking closet with carpet all over the fucking walls and the ceilings and everything's like a fucking quiet ass room, right? So in Little Friend School, the timeout room was a huge fucking room, right? Just huge, just cement walls, cement floor, cement everything, right? It's just huge. Well, at Glenwood Academy, the fucking timeout room was, I'm telling you, the size of a fucking the size of a small closet. And they'd stick you in there and whatever. And I'd go in there and I'd always get caught smoking in there. You know, I'd try to light the motherfucker on fire and shit like that. You know, because I had learned like I said, I had learned by this point that all I really had to do was fucking just get stupid enough, and they were gonna let me out of the fucking school, or they're gonna let me out. You know, they were gonna send my ass home. So that was one of the things that I used to do. I would constantly, I was kind of starting to do drugs at that time. I remember one of the kids sold me some LSD, and I took it, but it didn't really do shit. I think he was fucking lying to me. I had another dude that sold me some fake drugs and shit. I was very much into trying to be cool with the cool kids. You know what I'm saying? But I was never really, like I said, I never really knew how to do that kind of thing. I was always just kind of like, you know, a dude stuck off to the side. So there were, so it was, so one of the things that I would do in the class was, to get tossed out was I would act crazy. I would pretend that I would see. Now, if you guys, kind of old, so if you remember, the Flintstones, they had this dude on there, the little alien named Gazoo. So what I would do is I would get into the class and I would pretend that Gazoo had stole my cigarettes and that he was standing in the corner taunting me with my cigarettes. Now, looking back, I had some shit I made up, but I think at that time I probably believed it was true. So I fucking would see Gazoo and shit. I'd like jump up and I started snapping and shit. That motherfucker took my shit and whatever. So and I would just be disruptive and whatever, because I didn't fucking care. We'd have like little groups and shit. So I remember one time I was trying to, there was this chick that I met at a roller skating ring, and it turned out she went to the fucking school I went to. Well, I ended up not fucking with her, but kind of fucking with her sister and shit. And she went there, and I remember one day we were having like some group or something like that, and we just fucking hammered this girl, man, like had her in tears and shit like that. I was just not a nice person. So and then I get home and I call her sister, and her sister don't want to talk to me no more. And I'll tell you, to tell you how clueless I was, I had no fucking idea why the sister didn't want to talk to me. I was like, why does the sister want to talk to me no more? What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? It wasn't 10 years later, I was like, oh yeah, because we fucking hammered her sister. That's why, man. We fucking made her sister cry and shit. So, and so it was definitely an interesting experience there. The funny thing is I actually ran into a bunch of those guys in prison that I went to school with there. So another thing that I did, another thing they did there is they gave you what's called time. So basically when you fuck up, they'll be like, that's an hour. That's an hour. So what that happened was, every time, all the time you get, you'd have to stay after school. They could keep you after school till 7:30. I want you to imagine this, 7:30 at night, they're keeping your ass after school. My ass stayed after school till 7:30, basically the entire fucking time I was there. I think when I finally got out of there, I had like 5,000 hours or some shit. Like I had ridiculous amounts of hours, because they give you hours for everything. And then I'd be like in the after school thing, and I'd get more hours there. So it was literally this: you sit at this fucking desk till 7:30. Right about 5:30, they give you a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and then 7:30 they drive your ass home. So you gotta figure 12 hours a day you're stuck in this. You got no time to do nothing. So finally at Glenwood Academy, I just realized, like, this fucking blows. I don't want to do this shit. But I just kept pushing my luck and pushing my luck. I think I punched one of the teachers or some shit. I get in fights all the time. You know, and like I said, I had about 5,000 hours. I was the first person that I am aware of to ever get kicked out of Glenwood Academy. So then what happens there is they send me home. You know what I'm saying? I have nowhere to go. The worst school won't take me. No other schools will take me. I can't go back to public school. And I'm not old enough to drop out of school yet. It was 1989. It was 1989. So for like the last 2 or 3 months of 1989, I did nothing. I sat at home. Smoked cigarettes. I remember I would stay at home, and my mother would leave me 4 cigarettes a day. She would literally leave me 4 cigarettes a day, and I'd have 4 cigarettes a day, and I'd sit at home, and I'd eat all day, and I'd smoke my 4 cigarettes. You know what I'm saying? And play fucking Nintendo all the time. That's literally what I would do. Till finally, but little did I know, shit was going on behind the scenes that I didn't know about. They were getting ready. They were getting ready to get my ass the fuck up out of there. Like I told you before, man, nobody want me in that motherfucking house. You know what I'm saying? They were not gonna let me fuck up their other kids. So, so they end up taking me. So this is another fucked up thing that happened to me. All right. So anyway, I'm in the house. I'm there for a minute, and I remember the date. It was January 6th, 1990. January 6th, 1990. My mother tells me, she's like, we're gonna go to a doctor's appointment. All right, we're gonna go to a doctor's appointment, and and I have been going to doctors my whole life, so it was nothing. You know what I mean? But I knew something was fucking different because she took me out to breakfast before. My mother never used to take me out. Never. She just never did. She didn't have money for that shit. So she took me to Grandma Sally's in Addison on fucking corner of Fullerton. I think it's Fullerton and or something like that. The right on Army Trail Road right there. So she took me to fucking Grandma Sally's. We went for breakfast. All right. They take me to this fucking hotel. They take me. So then we end up going to the doctor, which was at I want to call it Forest Park Hospital, but I don't remember the name of it. It's in Forest Park though. So they take me there. I end up going there, and I just think I'm going there to see a doctor, right? I go into the fucking thing. They put me in a room, and all of a sudden, these dudes fucking snatch my ass. Now, I want you to imagine, I'm fucking barely fucking 15 years old. I'm barely 15 years old at this point, okay? And my mother fucking tricked my ass into going to this fucking hospital, and they snatched my ass up. And, all right, they snatched my ass up. I'm fucking losing my shit. Like, what the fuck? I'm looking at my mother. She's fucking crying. And they snatched my ass up, and they took my ass upstairs. You know what I'm saying? They took my ass upstairs. You know what I'm saying? And I ended up in the fucking mental hospital over there at that place. All right, I remember it was like 2 West or some shit was the name of it. And I go in there, and then I met some of the craziest motherfuckers you'll ever meet in there, man. I mean, absolutely just insane motherfuckers. So anyway, so I get in there, and again, to me, it was kind of one of them things where, hey, at least here I know the rules. At least here things stay consistent. You know what I'm saying? At least I know the people here. I know what to expect, things like that. And they would have like, they'd have like their groups, and they had like this like governing council of the kids who govern each other, like someone's the Lord of the Flies type of shit. And I remember getting on the council of that, and because I was there for like 3 or 4 months. So I remember getting on that, and then I remember getting kicked off of it because I grabbed some chick by the ass, and she fucking took me to. They had this thing where they like take you to the table, and the two of you got to sit in a big ass fucking circle, and they confront you on shit. So she's like, hey, the other day you grabbed my ass. I was like, yeah, what the fuck you gonna do about it, motherfucker? And I got kicked off the fucking board for that shit. And then and I remember also I'll tell you, I was locked up inside for so long that they took us one time and we got to walk outside, and I was like super excited because I got to smell car exhaust. You know what I'm saying? So again, you know what I'm saying? My mother snatched me up, fucking lied to me, got me stuck in there, and I cannot go home. I am not allowed to go home. My little nephew was actually born when I was in there, and I didn't even know it. So I was not allowed to go home. So I had to sit there for months, but the problem was, because I took all this medication, nobody would take me. I couldn't go to group homes. So finally, I get the so finally I'm in there for 3 months, and in that 3 months, man, I had fucking, dude, I saw a fucking chick fucking get in trouble for fucking doing herself with somebody else's fucking what is it called, somebody's toothbrush and shit. I mean, it was funny as hell. They brought it to the fucking meeting. She's like, and then I brushed my teeth and I tasted it, and I was like, ew, that's so gross. And I was fucking rolling. I was like laughing at her point, like, oh, you brush your teeth with somebody stuck it in their pussy hole and shit. So that was kind of fun. And then there was like, it was just, you just met a lot of, I met a lot of crazy motherfuckers. And the real fear that they gave you in that place was that if you fucked up, you'd go to the state mental hospital, which was Reed. And the state mental hospital is really bad. I actually was in a state hospital once, but they ended up putting me in, and I actually skipped over that part because I didn't get to that. But there was one time where they gave me this medication. I had a fucking bad reaction to it. I tried to kill my mother and shit. And so they sent me to Rush North Shore on the fucking city. And they put me in the adult one. Like literally, I want you to imagine, I'm 14 years old. I'm an adult fucking mental ward. And these people were fucking crazy. I mean, this is full of fucking droolers and fucking, and people fucking rocking back and forth, crazy motherfuckers and shit. So, and I remember fucking I could smoke in there, so I was kind of excited about that. And I remember this fucking crazy-ass Puerto Rican lady. She's the only one I remember. And there was this crazy-ass Puerto Rican lady who used to ask me if I had Cool Mild cigarettes. Like, you got Cool Milds? No, I ain't got no Cool Milds. Get the fuck away from me. So, so anyway, back, I had just skipped on that. So, I think I was only in there for like maybe 2 weeks. So anyway, back to the I forget I wish I knew what the fucking name of the place was that I was in. I wish I knew the name of the place that I was in Forest Park, but it's right there on the corner. I remember my room used to see there's a fucking cemetery behind there. So anyway, I was in there for months, you know what I'm saying? And I remember like you know, every now and then we'd get to go off and see a movie. I remember seeing the movie Look Who's Talking. We went to the movies and saw the movie Look Who's Talking at the movies. And I remember also, if you fucked up there, they would send you to what was called the ITU, the Intensive Treatment Unit. It was literally just like a brainwashing ward. You know what I'm saying? Like, you motherfuckers would go there, all right, out of control, and come back like straight fucking robots, man. Like, I don't know what the fuck they did to you. I was told, you heard all kind of stories about how they would just take you and they would just mind fuck you, like electroshock therapy and all type of other shit, right? So but I never got sent to that because I was actually pretty well behaved in there. Because one thing about me is once I knew here's the rules and here's what it was, I was pretty good at staying within it. So anyway, I just was stuck waiting there because they had nowhere to send me. It was, you know, they were trying to find me a group home and nobody could find me a group. So they finally find me a group home in Larkspur, Colorado. It's called the Emily Griffith Center. All right. And the Emily Griffith Center, and literally it was fucking, oh God, it was fucking terrible. All right. So they send me from there. They send me from fucking the hospital there. And then they send me to fucking Larkspur, Colorado. So now I'm stuck in the fucking, I mean, this shit is in the fucking middle of the Rocky Mountains. There ain't another fucking place for 30 fucking miles. I think the closest place was like Colorado Springs or some shit. And we would go in Colorado Springs, we would go down there to a place called the Boardwalk, play video games and shit. But so I get stuck in this fucking place and because it's the only place that would take me with the medication that I took, because nobody would take me because I was on so much medication. So it was basically like this or jail. So they take my ass. My mother comes and gets me. So and there's another thing that kind of disappointed. Like my mother came and got me, and then she fucking she voluntarily took me over there. Like, you know, why not just let me stay home? I don't think there was any rule that said I had to stay there. It was just one of the things where I kind of felt like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why because I got to leave the hospital. I went home. I ate pizza for the day, got to stay for a while. And then the next day they flew my ass out to fucking Larkspur, Colorado. You know what I'm saying? To Denver. And then I fucking took an hour drive to Larkspur, Colorado. And I'll tell you, man, that was another place, man, where it was, so I got some fun stories out there, right? So it's in the mountains, so you're constantly seeing fucking bears and shit, right? They have like bear watches, so the bears come and they're like, oh, bear watch, and everybody gotta go inside. And you had what were called lodges, and you literally lived in fucking legit log fucking cabins, man. I mean, sounds fucking great. Not that great. Trust me on this one. I've done the research. So they got you living in the lodges, and I forget what they're called. One was called like Tall Pines. One was called something else. I forget the fucking names. So you're staying in this fucking log cabin, right? So first fucked up shit that happened when I got. So I get there, right, and it's right. I think it's a little bit before my 16th birthday, and I get there and again, you know, I'm saying it's the same shit. You know, you got to follow these rules, and you get levels, and you go up, and then you can walk this place by yourself, and there's, you know, walk that place by, and there's no smoking. But there were a lot of kids there who lived like locally, kind of like in Denver and shit like that, so they would get to go on trips. You know, there was really only me and like a couple other people who were like from out of state. I had one of my roommates was a Crip named Chauncey. He was from Potrero Hills in California. He was really cool as fuck. And then there was I forget, he was really the only one that I kind of really hit it off with. Then there was you know, there was another couple dudes from Denver, another guy from Colorado Springs. So anyway, there was a fucking he called himself a sharp. Skinheads Against Racial Prejudice. His name was Kellen, and he was from fucking Ohio. And he had let his hair get to fucking dreads. You know what he reminded me of? You ever seen a fucking House Party? He reminded me of fucking Jamal and shit from House Party. He was pretty fucking cool. He was a decent dude. You know what I'm saying? But that was like my first time I ever met like a fucking skinhead. But he was like a skinhead, but he was like against racial prejudice. I was like, okay, whatever. So anyway, so this is fucked up. You're gonna get fucked up at this one, right? So if you don't, people, at this moment right here, I want you to get ready, because this is some fucked up shit. All right, this is fucked up. So in the lodge that we lived in, right, there was a ground floor, whatever, had a couple rooms and a laundry room, and then there's a place over to the left where there's a phone on the wall, and then there was the counselor's fucking area, and then you go upstairs and there's some more rooms, whatever, and then in the back there's like a loft, and in the loft there's a TV, and there's a bunch of chairs, right? So this is fucked up. This is some fucked up shit. I can't believe I'm telling this story. So we're up there one day watching a movie, right? We're watching a fucking movie. Everybody in the lodge is in there, probably 10 of us, right? 10, 12 of us up there watching a movie, right? And I'm like in the front, closest to the TV, right? And there's like 2 rows of people behind me, right? And they're there. So whatever. So all of a sudden, it gets real fucking quiet. They're watching this fucking video, right? Oh my God, it gets really quiet. And all of a sudden, I'm like, what the fuck did it get so quiet for? I turn around, and every one of these motherfuckers is whacking it to the fucking show, man. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Literally, all of them just fucking whacking the shit out of it to the show. And I mean, to me, that was the most like awful. I was like, what the fuck just happened? What did I just look at? Like what kind of cult shit is this? So they're all fucking, I'm not even exaggerating. There's fucking 10 motherfuckers fucking jacking off watching this fucking, I don't even remember what the fuck I was watching. And I was like, man, I was like scarred for life. I was like, you gotta be fucking shitting me. These dudes are not back there fucking punching the fucking clown while I'm fucking watching this fucking movie. You know, what the fuck is it? Oh my God, I couldn't even fucking take it. I got the fuck up and left. And I never watched fucking videos with them ever again. I didn't watch TV for the fucking whatever, the 8 months I was there or whatever. It was scarred me for life. It was fucking awful. So that was fucked up, man. And then, so then I would get, then I remember I got in a fight with one guy and I fucking chucked him down the fucking stairs. And then I got another fight with another dude. I threw the water at him and fucking punched him in the face. His name was George. He was from Denver. And over there, you're always worried about getting kicked out of there and sent to the IDOI, I think it was, or the DOI, the Department of Institutions in Denver and shit. That's where you would get kicked out of to go there. But I never got kicked out of there to go there. About 6 months later, so what ended up happening, the way I got kicked out of there was they had decided in all their fucking brilliant fucking wisdom. So I used to go to fucking Denver General Hospital to take what's it called? I'd have to take like 40-minute rides to Denver General Hospital. One time I got like real dehydrated and fucking almost died and shit. So they, again, it's a 40-minute fucking drive to the hospital from where we're at in the middle of fucking Larkspur, Colorado in the goddamn mountains and shit. One other thing, they had a certain lodge over there in that fucking place. It was called the Sexual Predator, or what do they call it? The Sexual Something Lodge. And it was basically where they had like all these kids who had done fucking fucked up sexual shit and they put them in that fucking lodge and shit. I wasn't in that one, but it was like they basically made it like it was the way the kids that were in there. When I look back on it, it was almost like they made it cool to admit you were a fucking pervert. You know what I'm saying? And like they made it like a cult thing almost. It was really weird when I was at that place in Colorado because it was really like I just did not get this place at all. Like I didn't understand why 12 dudes were fucking jacking off and all watching the fucking show together. Like it was nothing. Like it was nothing. Like it was nothing. I mean, shit. Up to that point, anybody who's ever been a teenage boy knows you don't even talk about that shit. These motherfuckers over there fucking. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy. And I was like, what the fuck are you guys doing? I remember asking, what the fuck are you guys doing? They're like, man, shut up and watch TV. Okay, I didn't know anything. I was only been there for like maybe a week or so. So anyway, so they took me off all the medication at once. And I want you to remember, I had been a doped up motherfucker for the last 10 years, man, constantly. I'm talking about, I was so drugged up at that point, I would drool and shit. Like I couldn't fucking walk. I would sleep like, 15 hours a fucking day. Like I was just completely a fucking zombie. So we went to the doctor in Denver and I came back and he's like, we're going to take you off all this medicine. Every one of it. They took me off that medicine and I went absolutely fucking apeshit. I went crazy. I tried to kill I literally tried to fucking kill the counselor. When I say I tried to kill her, like I literally chased her with a fucking, I don't remember what the fuck weapon I had. I chased her with a weapon, fucking beat the shit out of her car, fucking try to kill her, had to have like 3 other dudes come and I tried to fucking kill them. You know what I'm saying? Because again, when you're told since the time you're fucking 10 years old, hey, there's something wrong with you. You have to have this fucking medication or there's something wrong with you and you're not going to be able to fucking function without it. That tells your head, hey, there's something fucked up here. So at that point, what choice do I have? In my own head, I'm like, oh, well, I obviously have a fucking, A, I got a freebie. I can get away with whatever the fuck I want now because they took all the medication away. But B, legitimately in my head, I thought I went out of my fucking mind. So I tried to kill her. I tried to kill like 3 of the fucking guys who were there, the other fucking counselors. Her name was Rebecca. I remember hating her. I remember she was one of them fucking uppity fucking white cunts, right? Who like didn't want us to listen. I remember the Humpty Dance had just came out. And she didn't want us to listen to the Humpty Dance because it was disrespectful to women. Like, she was one of them, right? So anyway, so I just remember they took me off my shit, and one day I just went ape shit. I destroyed her car. She drove like a nice red fucking Celican. She was brand new. I destroyed her car. I fucking destroyed half the fucking lodge. I went ape shit. You know, I went absolutely out of my fucking mind. So at that point, what they did was, is they took me and they sent me to Denver General Hospital, to the mental ward in Denver General Hospital, right? So in Denver General Hospital, I was there. And I stayed there for about a month. All right, I stayed there for about a month. Now, in that month time, all right, you're gonna love this. So in that month time, there was a crazy chick. There was this black chick there who was she would flash me all the time and shit, right? Like she would flash me all the time. Like she would run by and just show me her titties and shit. Like, you know, I was like, oh, that's cool. So and at that time, one of the nurses actually fell in love with me. It was a fucking, like, looking back now, I'm like, wow, man, that's fucking crazy. Looking back then, I was just like, oh my God, this lady scares the shit out of me. She's probably 350, 400 pounds. Her name was Linda, all right? Real nice lady, but she literally, when I tell you she fell in love with me, she fell in love with me. Like, even 6 months later when I was in jail, she was fucking sending me money and fucking sending me fucking half-naked pictures and shit of herself. So her name was Linda, and she fell in love with me. So I stayed in Denver General Hospital for probably about a month, and then after that, I'm like, okay, cool, they're gonna let me out. They stuck me back in all my medicine again. And they stuck me, so they put me back in fucking in Larkspur at the Griffith Center. Now one other thing that I forgot to tell you guys about is at the Griffith Center they had they had horses. It was legit like a horse farm. So. And man, I fucking, to this minute of this day, I fucking hate horses. I hate them. Fuck you. If you like horses, fuck you too. I hate fucking horses. I watched a kid get kicked dead in the face and end up with fucking spinal meningitis from getting a fucking horse. I remember how much they smelled. I remember having to go down there and fucking hold their legs and clean out their fucking shoes. And I remember how the one horse had a baby and it fucking, it fucking smelled all awful and shit. So, but I remember also I tried to learn how to ride horses, and then there's like, what is it? There's like a canter and then a fucking trot and then a gallop or whatever. So I remember that. And I remember one time the fucking horse got out. Now, mind you, this place is in the fucking mountains, man. It's in the mountains of fucking, of Colorado. And there ain't shit. I mean, there ain't a goddamn soul within at least 10 fucking miles of this place. So the fucking horse gets out, right? The one horse gets out. And I had to literally climb mountains to fucking find this horse, right? So I finally find a horse like 5 hours later walking through the goddamn mountains. Now the horse has no saddle, it has no bridle, it has no nothing. So I don't even have a way to fucking really get this horse to come back with me other than to grab it, reach the fucking up there and grab it by its fucking shit. And there's this, like, I don't even know what you would call it. It's like a cement, like a long cement, like a creek. But it's like not that big. It was only about maybe 2 or 3 feet across. Sorry, I blocked the camera. About 2 or 3 feet across. So my problem was I didn't want to make the horse jump over the fucking little thing because heaven forbid he fucking falls in and breaks his leg and dies or some shit, right? So I ended up having to walk this fucking horse fucking like 2 miles around this fucking thing to where it finally went underground. And bring the horse in. I think I started out at like fucking 8 in the morning and got done like at midnight. It was the worst fucking experience of my goddamn life. I absolutely fucking hated it. And to this minute, I absolutely hate fucking horses. So that's kind of, what happened as far as with the horse goes. So anyway, they, after that, I get back, whatever. And then, I don't really know, I know that there was another horse that had a baby, and just overall just not very cool. I did not like fucking horses. So now I get to the part where I got kicked out of there, right? So, in all their benevolent fucking wisdom, after they fucking took me off all my medication and shit, right? And they sent me back to the fucking They took me off all my medication. I went fucking ape shit. All right, I tried to kill the lady. I tried to kill fucking couple of the fucking dudes that worked there. I just went completely out of my fucking mind. So when they brought me back from Denver General Hospital after whatever time that was, they didn't even tell me. They just snuck it up on me. All of a sudden, one day my mother shows up. Like, imagine this. I haven't seen my mother in 6 months or whatever. And all of a sudden, she just shows back up at the. She shows up in the in Colorado to take me. So then, what does she do? Again, for like the 95th fucking time, you know what I'm saying? She takes me home. We fly all the way home. We have pizza for the day, and the next day she takes me and drops me off at the fucking group at the DuPage County Youth Home. So you know, the youth home wasn't an awful, you know, experience. You know, like it wasn't like, you know, it wasn't like actual jail. So anyway, they take me to the DuPage County Youth Home. I'm there for like a month. You know, while I'm in there, I get a couple fights or whatever. And I remember because I was on so much medication, I wasn't allowed to stay in my room, like, unsupervised for that long. It was some weird rule. So, like, on the weekends at the DuPage County Youth Home back then, they used to not have, you used to have to stay locked up the whole weekend. Because they didn't have enough staff. But me, for some reason, they couldn't do that. So I got to stay out with him, and I remember the fucking asshole guard or whatever, counselor guy, whatever he was, he had said, I had said, man, I got to take a piss. And he's like, oh, it's cool. Just chill out and think of cold running water. And oh my God, that was the worst experience of my life. I'm like, oh, I got to piss so fucking bad. And, you know, so it was definitely not something that I, you know, that I would recommend to happen to anybody else. So then from there, I ended up getting put to, they put me on a bus, and then they sent me to St. Charles, IYC St. Charles, Illinois Youth Center St. Charles. So I'm in IYC St. Charles. I get there. Now that was some scary shit to me. You know, that was some scary shit when I went there. So they put me in a fucking, I want to say Kennedy King Cottage. They put me in Kennedy King College. I think I was there for maybe a few days. I ended up getting in a fight with this guy and I ended up going in a hole. And then I remember like just getting talked out of my shit left and right there, man. Like I'm telling you, I was a straight fucking victim. Like I'm not even gonna lie, I didn't have a fucking clue. I remember I had like some cigarettes and a motherfucker talked me out of them. And I remember another motherfucker was like, oh, I'll get you some cigarettes. But you gotta, you know, they'd mix all the shit together at fucking lunch, right? They'd mix all the shit together at lunch, ketchup and mustard and mayonnaise and whatever. And like, oh, if you eat this, we'll give you a cigarette. And I would do it. Like, I was just, I didn't know no better. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I told you I'm going to be honest about shit. So I'm not going to act like, you know, I was hellified gangster all the damn time. You know, that was kind of, you know, but every time I did, you know, shit like that happen, I would learn my lesson. And, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, so finally they got me out of there. They sent me to IYC Joliet. And, from there, we'll get into the more details of IYC Joliet on the next time. But for now, I'm going to get out of here. I appreciate everybody coming to hang out. It's really nice of you all to come in. Make sure you tell your friends to subscribe. If you have questions, feel free to inbox me if you don't want to put them in public. I've gotten a few of those already. I'm going to do another episode where I answer a couple of those questions. But so far, so good, right? So far, so good. You know, as I remember things and I have to go back in time and I have to revisit, hopefully I've laid the groundwork enough where that shit'll make sense. So for now, I'm going to get out of here. So I appreciate everybody coming out. You know, take care until next time.